Hello everyone, it is math and we are in lesson 19, which is we are talking about elapsed time. Elapsed time, it can be a little tricky unless you start to think of time as something that's on a number line. But there are a few things that you need to understand before we really go down into the nitty-gritty of time. Our first thing that you need to understand is some language that we use. I know that you've heard, I got up at 5 a.m. When we say a.m., it means I have this number line. This is our whole day from 12 a.m. to the next day, 12 a.m. And so anything from here to here is in the a.m. section. That's the morning. Anything from after this 12 to this part is considered p.m. So if you got up at 5 in the morning, you're getting up pretty early. I didn't go to bed until 11 p.m. Then you would be here at 11 p.m. in the evening. Another thing that we have to talk about is we have our little clocks. This is called analog. That's not something that you need to know, but you do need to know the standard time that we see a lot more, especially now that we have our phones and digital things, and that is the digital form for time. So here would be my analog version for 1:25. It's my little hand. This is 1:25. You see that? I would write this in the analog version 1:25. And because I'm in charge, we'll say PM. And we'll think about recess. How does that sound? Our final definition is elapsed time. And elapsed time is thinking about the distance between two time points. In your notebook, they ask about the elapsed time between when we begin school and when we end school. And how much time is that? So I'm going to show you how we figure this out. Now, you can use one of these little clocks and go around and around and around. But I personally love to take this out and make it into a big number line like we have here. So take a look with me. Ooh, Mrs. Daw forgot to put in AM. We start school here at Jefferson at 8:15 a.m. and we get out of school at 3 p.m. So we have to ask ourselves, how long are we in school? Because we don't start right at 8, it's just a little bit tricky. So we've got to think about how many minutes is it until we get to 9 o'clock? I know, let's see, I've got 15 minutes already in, so the rest of this here is going to be 45 minutes. I'm going to make a little note right here. Between here and here is 45 minutes. Will you remember that? Then, once we have the distance between those 2 points, then we figure out how many hours we're in school. And we just count them like this. We start 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. So we have 6 hours plus this little one. So 6 hours plus this little and 45 minutes. That we are in school. Finally, we need to chat a little because you won't always have the digital clocks running around. You will need to understand analog clocks. And so I have my little clock right here. We know that the long hand shows what the hour is. And then the little hand, wait, duh, scratch that, guys. The long hand shows the minutes and the little hand shows the hours. You were gonna let me make a mistake on that, weren't you? So I'm glad that you caught it. Good job. So throughout the day, we'll start at 3 o'clock because that's when we get out of school. We have 3 o'clock and our time goes around. We know that this is now 3:05 and then 3 and 10 minutes. And as it goes, something happens to our little hand as we go around the clock. You don't see it on this clock because it's kind of tricky, but this little hand continues to move. Now, is it 4 o'clock yet? No, but it's telling us that it's moving towards 4 o'clock. So you have to really look at where this little minute hand is going. And as it moves, this little hand slowly goes over and over to the point that by the time it gets up to almost 4 o'clock, this little hand will be almost 4 o'clock, but not quite. And it won't shift to being 4 o'clock until it gets right here. And then we're at 4 o'clock. Now I have kids that they see the clock looking like this and they say, "Oh, Mrs. Daw, it's 4:55. Oh, not quite. It's actually 3:55. It's almost 4 o'clock. So will you make sure to watch that really carefully? And once you know that, it makes it a little easier for telling time. There are other, let's see. We also need to say that when they say quarter past the hour, they're meaning 15 minutes past the hour. Or half past the hour is 30 minutes past the hour. Or quarter to the hour means that we've got 15 minutes until the next hour. And now you should be an expert at math and at telling time. Come and join me in the practice set. We will practice telling time and figuring out the distance between 2 time points. Take care.